Oh, they're smelling something disgusting. It's that fly.
Okay. So
See, like whatever that fly is doing, he smells really bad. And now he's turning everything stank. And he's getting close to them. And they're like, ew, dude, you smell. I'm narrating this for you. And they found something to lick. So whatever it is. They're running away from him because whatever the disgusting thing that they're licking, they don't want him near it.
because he's giving them what? Germs?
Like stank. He just
Oh, and
smells
now that
bad.
guy's
Now
stuck in the
he's
bottle
stuck
with
in
the
there.
farts.
Yeah.
This show's
With
amazing.
that fly who's just farting or being disgusting.
What is the problem with this show? Here we are, and welcome to a forward-looking 2020 edition of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. I am joined by my sisters, Becky in California. How are you?
Good. I have a question. When you are practicing your opener in your head,
I don't practice.
okay, so
it
you
comes
don't
from my
think,
loins.
so you don't think
Becky
in
and I
advance
both
I'm
do
gonna
practice.
emphasize. You don't think in advance I'm gonna emphasize the word forward looking. Like you don't think, oh, I'm gonna like put a line under that.
It just flows.
Yes.
That was my question. If you plan in advance which words will get an emphasis.
I have been slathering vegan margarine on my throat since 8 a.m. today to
Okay.
get ready for this.
Do you know how much vegan margarine is left over in my house from your visit? I had to transfer it to the
really good
freezer because
pancakes.
there's no more room in my fridge for all your vegan margarine, so I had to transfer tubs of it to my freezer. It'll be here waiting for you.
I used it to make great pancakes.
You did.
And-
You made
Shai definitely can't live in California because it's too expensive to overbuy the way he likes to. Like, Shai's live in a place where he can buy extra of everything.
I was
and it
at
not like break his
you have a
bank.
cost.
I was
You
at
have
Harris
Costco.
Teeter
You have
last
Costco.
night, and Enlightened ice cream was on sale, and I walked out with 12 pints. I feel like that was totally
Yeah.
reasonable.
That is well. I feel like if it's on sale and you have an extra freezer in your house, that's fine.
Yeah, I could have
Okay,
fit them
but
in the regular
guys,
freezer if I'd got through some meats
Hey,
out.
hey, Lily, how are you?
Lily,
Okay,
how are
so
you
I'm
doing?
gonna go. Okay.
Lily,
I
which
have a
vacation are you on now? Because I feel like you've been on a lot of vacations, back to
on
back
my
to back.
second
I feel like the south of the Canary Islands or other islands are like your country house. Like if you were in Montreal and you had a country house, your country
Sure.
house is just like these like tropical areas.
Where people go on vacation.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, there has to be some benefit of living in an island in the middle of nowhere. Am I right? Anywho, yes, we are on vacation because the winter holiday extends here till January 7th.
So she got back from vacation and 2 days later
I worked.
left for vacation. Those 2 days.
I worked 2 days and then I went back. I broke it up this year. Anyways, we're not
Deal
talking about
with
that. I have a question perhaps about relationships. So
It's not that kind of podcast.
I know.
You need us to weigh in
You'll,
on.
you'll see. I'll bring it down in a second. I'll make it real low
Which
class in about a
ship
second.
are we discussing here? Go.
Okay, if I need to understand a little bit, and this is not about marriage because it could be any relationship that you're in. It could be not even that serious, but I guess somewhat serious. The other night I had just fallen asleep. You know that crucial time where if you can get in there and you can get to sleep, then you're probably good for a few hours till you never really have to pee or whatever. But if something delays you or whatever it is, then you're gonna have a hard time getting to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just in that sweet spot of I was falling asleep, and I get woken up by my husband, and all I kind of hear is this mumbling of being something fart, and I get so upset, and I was like, I can't believe you just fucking woke me up to let me know that you farted. I was like, that's so rude. I was asleep. I don't need to know. And he's like, no, it wasn't me. I was telling you farted. And I was like, excuse me, I'm a lady. There's no way I farted while I was sleeping barely for 2 minutes. And if I was, let a girl fall asleep and fart. I was just sort of like, are you kidding me?
I think
Speaking
speaking as a husband,
and I
it's
just feel like this is really bad form.
it's really rare where you get to "I told you so" your wife, so you have to take those opportunities.
You have to do it in the moment.
So you have
You have to do it in the moment. Like, you can't wait till the next morning, because then it'll be like, that doesn't happen, but in the moment. I see where he's coming from. Now, alternately, I find a mark of true love is when I'm extremely, deeply, deeply tired and I fall asleep and I'm in a very, very, very deep sleep. And Vlad does not wake me while I'm snoring and lets me snore as loud and as long as I need to in my deep sleep.
Sweet.
And he suffers through it because he won't disturb my sleep. He also knows I'll throw him out the window if he wakes me up. I do not like to be woken. So it's at his own.
True.
Yeah, so.
All right, now we can begin. I just can't believe you're defending
we're looking ahead to 2020. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to play an epic round of Buy, Rent, Meh, and look at a lot of the upcoming movies and shows for the year. We're gonna ease into this conversation with a topic we know really well, that we love: animated films. So I'm going to throw out 3 upcoming animated films, like 3.5 upcoming animated films. This could be a Buy, Rent, Meh, or Bleh. Actually, this could be that. We've got Onward coming from Pixar. We've got Soul coming from Pixar. We've got Trolls World Tour, which is the sequel to Trolls, and the one that features a Kenny G smooth jazz troll. And then we have Minions 2: The Rise of Gru, which I assume is a Gru origin story.
So this is only the second Minion movie?
So there's 3.
Are you sure?
There's 3 Despicable Me's. Then there is a Minions spin-off that is a prequel.
But they don't speak, so they're just going.
Yeah, there's a lot of Minionese is like one of the best things about those movies. And then this is a sequel, because at the end of that movie, a young 10-year-old Gru meets up with the Minions.
Fascinating. Okay.
So it's an origin story.
So this is like another layer to that origin story. Think of this as Attack of the Clones.
I'm going to do that.
Thank
you for that reference to really put it in context for me.
Or think of it as The Last Jedi. So Buy, Rent, or Meh, those 3 movies.
So
or 4 movies. I don't know. Like, are Trolls and Minions even different movies for the purposes of this?
I'm going to buy Onward for the obvious reason that has been stated before, that Vlad worked on it for many years, and my household is deeply, deeply invested in this movie. And actually, when you see the movie, when everyone sees the movie one day, hang around for the credits, because when you get to the production babies section, you will see Miriam's name in the credits.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Because I was cooking her while they were working on it. So that's definitely a buy. I'm the most excited to see that. After that, Soul, for no other reason that it just falls second to Onward, which has just been, like I said, a very big part of our house, and we can't wait to see it.
It's also Pixar.
And I'm not even dignifying the other 2. I don't even know how you could put these in the same category. Trolls looks like it was made by trolls. It doesn't even look like it was made by humans.
I have a question. Isn't it weird that Pixar's putting out 2 movies in the same year?
So you haven't noticed this? They started doing this a few years ago. They have 1 year with 1 movie, 1 year with 2 movies, and they alternate years. So this is a year.
The movie with 2 movies is usually like one of them's like a sequel, like a Cars 15 or something.
True.
So 2 original productions.
That's actually good eye. Good eye.
I know.
Well, wasn't that the Dinosaur Jr. and the same year as another big movie? Or am I imagining things?
I think you're imagining things.
No, it might have been. But
anyway,
that's actually
I agree with Becky. Becky's rating of these animated features is accurate.
I'm only gonna slightly put Soul over Onward, because I am fascinated with the topic and the different environment of the jazz musician who has this out of body experience, and I want to see Pixar's take on death. But Onward looks equally amazing, so I'm on board with Onward, but I want to give a little bit of an edge to Soul. So that'll be my buy. Onward will be my rent. Maybe my rent, but like rent and then leave it in the car like for like many months, like we did with Sister Act 2, Back to the Habit, or whatever it's called, and Westmount Video tried to charge us, so like kind of steal it. And then my meh will be Minions 2, because I'm not against the Minions movies. I think they're funny, but I just don't care if there's another one. And then Trolls is a bleh. That the first Trolls is the movie, probably the animated movie I hate most. So
I want the 2.5 minutes of my life back where I had to sit through that trailer before Cats. That's what I would like.
The only thing I like is the fact that they have a Kenny G smooth jazz troll.
No.
I'll watch a short about that.
And okay, I can't. Just forget it. I don't want to spend any more time on this topic. Moving on. We'll talk about it offline.
Superhero movies. Bloodshot.
I saw the preview for Bloodshot. I did watch the preview for it.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
And I will say, not enough Sam Heughan in that trailer. So it's a little disappointing already.
Bloodshot.
So.
Coming from Valiant Comics, Bloodshot.
Is Bloodshot Vin Diesel's, like, is this his way of saying I want to take on a dramatic role?
No, he plays, he's always in dramatic roles. He's very serious.
But
he's not, he doesn't do comedies.
I guess they're in a dramatic role.
No, because he's doing action movies, and then he's doing action movies, and then so now it seems like it has more drama. There's 2 trailers for Bloodshot. One
You've seen more than I have.
Well, I was disappointed by the lack of Jamie Fraser in the first trailer, so I was like, I guess I'm going to watch the second one and see if they improved that. So the trailers are vastly different. The first one has this like campiness to it that's a little bit funny. They do this, like, they keep repeating the same song over and over, and they make it seem like it's supposed to be a little bit funny.
He's repeating
and then
that like life scene over and over again.
And then the second one is just super dark and like dramatic and actiony. So I'm a little bit like, so I feel like they are now marketing 2 different movies to me, neither of which highlight Jamie Fraser.
Maybe he's the baby Yoda of this movie. They're going to reveal and he's actually the star. It's not going to happen.
My baby Yoda.
So I've got Bloodshot. I got to give you the other 2. Otherwise we can't play by render Matt. Black Widow, starring Scarlett Johansson. I guess this is a prequel to, spoiler alert, what happens to her in Endgame. They better have a point for this one. And then Wonder Woman 1984. What is your... Now go back to your questions or your ratings.
I think
it's fairly obvious.
I don't know.
I'm gonna buy Jamie Fraser from Outlander. I'm just buying him
because you just like the idea of him in a feature film.
I'm not
buying Bloodshot. I'm just buying him.
No, but
he's my buy.
We're just gonna carve him out of Bloodshot and then carry him with us when we see the other 2 movies.
Carve him out. That's the kind of thing they would do on that show. They'd carve him out of something because that's all they do is torture people.
Anyways, I would say obviously Wonder Woman, and then Bloodshot because Guy Pearce is in that too. So hello, and could not care less about Black Widow. Honestly, we don't need any more of these movies.
My number one bit of curiosity for Wonder Woman 1984, which would provoke me to actually buy it, is to understand how exactly they are going to reincarnate Chris Pine.
I feel like it's going to be a fake out or something. I feel like he's going to be a projection of some villain, or he's really just going to be alive. The kind of really... Everyone's like complaining about any potential retconning in the Rise of Skywalker, but we've now like eliminated the stakes of the previous movie.
Yeah, so
there's got to be a better explanation.
I'm gonna rent Bloodshot because I do really want to support Jamie Fraser, and yeah, I guess I'm gonna mad Black Widow. I love the idea that what's his name is in it from Stranger Things.
David Harbour's playing the
David Harbour. I love that David Harbour's in it.
Superhero.
So it's like the most interesting part to me. But again, I'm wondering if we already know what happens to her at the end of Avengers. Why do we need this movie?
It has to.
What's it adding?
It's going to explain something that's going to set up for Phase 4. But I think they could have done Black Widow at any time, and the fact that they waited this long to do it, I feel like I'm not super interested, but it doesn't look bad.
They wanted to make sure people will watch movies with female leads, Shai.
Yeah, that's the reason.
They wanted to make sure people will go see action movies with female leads. That's why they waited so long.
Okay, so I'm buying Bloodshot because it's
kidding.
My favorite comic book universe, even though it's probably going to be garbage. I don't know why I'm so not excited for Wonder Woman 1984. I can't really tell. I love either. Gal Gadot, but I think I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I'm not sure how much I'm not interested in I'll give that a rent because the odds of Black Widow could have some significance. The Marvel guys know how to make movies. The DC universe has two good movies. That has two good movies. And that's Shazam and the first Wonder Woman. So, anyways, all right. I'll rent Wonder Woman and I'll Black Widow. All right. Now let's turn to TV. Streaming is a big deal. There are some streaming shows that will be returning for future seasons in this coming year. Which are you most excited for? Are you buying The Mandalorian Season 2? Stranger Things Season 4? Or, curveball in there, Sex Education Season 2.
Right,
I'm buying that.
You see, here's the thing. I predict, as much as we love Sex Education Season 1, it's going to suffer, as so many shows have, from a less than fulfilling Season 2. I think it's going to be classic that way, and then it'll bring it back strong for Season 3. So I'm not going to go and buy Season 2 of Sex Education. I think we've all learned this lesson. No, I'm just saying, historically, you look at TV shows. So I'm going to buy Mandalorian. I'm going to rent Sex Education, and I'm going to mess Stranger Things. I'm so excited to see where they take it, but I also feel like if I never saw it again, I'm not sure it would matter. Because we're already on Season 4.
Okay. And Lily, what about you?
I'm buying Sex Education because I'm so excited to see it. And I think that there's so much, it has so much potential. I don't really need it to be the greatest show ever. They just have to, not royally fuck it up. And the characters are so great already that I just feel like it's really... They could repeat the same season and I'd be happy. They could literally just release the Season 1 and call it Season 2 and I would just be like, oh, that sounds great. I had such a fun time watching that show. Mandalorian, I'm not going to buy it because the Season 1 was good and that was good enough. That's a show that I'm like, ooh, it's really big expectations to expect Season 2.
Don't you want to see what happens with the Dark Saber?
Sure. I'm not saying I don't.
I want to see what happens.
I'm not going to buy it in the sense that
I feel
expecting it to be the best.
I'm assuming.
Fine, I'll cheat. I'll buy both. What do you want me to say?
Right. No, you're entitled to your opinion, even if I don't agree.
What was the second one? Or the third one? The second one?
Do you just not have your show notes?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. No, I'm on my phone because I'm not on my computer, so I don't want to not go back and forth. I just remember Stranger Things. Definitely gonna meh that because Season 3 was nah. So they really have to change the entire show for it to be good. I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm not nearly as excited I was for Season 3.
I am going to dispute you. Well, no, I'm going to buy Mandalorian Season 2. I got to know where it goes. I'm a little nervous, though, because we had a great Episode 7 in Star Wars.
I'm going to watch it off of your account.
Yeah, it's not physically buying. This is a metaphorical buying. So the Mandalorian Season 2... But I am a little bit worried because Star Wars has come out of the gate once before with a great opening chapter in the Disney era with The Force Awakens and then completely blown it. So... But I trust Favreau, and hopefully there is an actual vision as to where this might be going and how this fits into the rest of the Star Wars universe, and they're not going to just Mad Libs their way through it. So I'm going to buy that. I'm going to rent Stranger Things Season 4. I didn't love a lot of Season 3, but that show's never been a super, super love for me. It's always been in the same similar place, so I'm hoping that Season 4 they can course correct a bit, and they'll bring Hopper back with a better personality than the fake bad personality they gave him in Season 3. And then Sex Education, I liked that show when we watched it, but I don't care if I ever see it again. So it's fine. When it comes back on, I will definitely watch it and we can break it down, but it's not a show that I like. I vaguely even remember anything that happened in it other than that X-Files is in it. What's her name?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now these are the streaming shows now, but there are some epic comedy series that are going to have finales in 2020. They're over. No more.
Becky, did you just realize that was Gillian Anderson from X-Files?
No, I just was remembering that she's in it.
Oh.
We had a whole conversation about the fact that it was her.
I would like to see a Duchovny playing a British love interest in season 2.
That would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Smart. Yeah.
So there are some comedy series, beloved comedy series, that are going to have finales in 2020. Glow, starring Alison Brie and Betty Gilpin and Jackie Tohn, all these amazing, and what's his name? Mark Maron?
Mark Maron.
Mark Maron, amazing show. The Good Place, which I have not watched the last season yet because I'm waiting for the whole thing to be
so good.
Over.
So good.
Is a masterpiece.
So smart.
And then
So
Schitt's Creek is wrapping up. So this is quite the difficult choice you have here. Buy, rent, or meh. The ends of these finales. Now I'll say this.
Quick.
This is, when I say finales, I mean how satisfied you're going to be with the ending. Like, how much are you going to like these series finales as in the final episodes?
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay, I'm going to go with Buy Good Place because I think it's brilliant and they're going to do a great job. I'm going to rent Glow because I also think they're going to do a good job. I'm just not as emotionally invested, and I think like there's some like weird depressing parts of the show that I feel like it's going to end like some part of it on like too much of a downer I'm going to be annoyed about. And I'm mad Schitt's Creek is the greatest show of all time, and it should never end. And fuck you. Don't end the show. Just don't end it. Like, what do you need to do, Dan Levy? Just make this show forever. Do these people have really something else they need to be doing?
Do you wonder if we might get, like, holiday specials every once in a while, though? Like Christmas specials or Hanukkah specials or something like that? Like
I
once
don't
or
think
twice
you will.
a year?
I'm gonna buy the ending of Schitt's Creek because when you see the arc that Dan Levy has taken the characters on thus far, I trust that he will bring us to a place that's wholly satisfying with each of our core characters. I'm going to rent The Good Place only because I can't buy two things. And I do think The Good Place is also, its own mini masterpiece in and of itself. It's so smart. But I'm gonna rent it not just because I can't buy it, but also because I don't know how to explain it. Me, I don't know. I'm just gonna rent it.
When I weigh in, maybe what I say will help you.
Maybe. I feel like there are some like silly threads in it that kind of take you off track throughout. As brilliant and as much as I love it, and I think it's sweet when you watch, but I also think it's the type of thing you can like skip episodes. Derek is like one of my favorite.
Exactly.
One of my favorite
shows.
And Glow, because I truly am a huge fan of Glow, and I think it's gotten better every season. But I do think there are certain episodes that are clearly so much like. There's really, truly are some standout episodes in that show. In particular, I've noticed the ones that are written by the showrunner, Liz Flahive, when she's the ones that she writes, I think are actually like the best ones, but it's a little bit uneven throughout. And so I kind of am not convinced we're going to get a perfect, an amazing last season. I think it will overall be good, but it'll probably leave us a little bit disappointed in some places. But I do think I'm hopeful, at least with our core characters, we'll get something satisfying. But I actually find the side characters have been the ones that have had like the most interesting stories, not the core characters. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit confused with it.
That's
know what I mean?
That's fair. So I'm gonna. I Glow is my rent. I love Glow. I love the balance between comedy and drama, but it's still very, very funny. I think it's sort of like low key some of the best acting. Everything from Mark Maron and Alison Brie and Betty Gilpin who are like piloting the show, but to all the beautiful little sub stories like Carmen's story and Melrose's story, the character development they did, particularly with Melrose and I don't remember the friend who plays the Cambodian character, like that whole storyline was so cool. So that's my rent, and only because in a different category it might have been a buy. But I'm going to give Schitt's Creek the buy because there's a lot of ways it can end, and I'll be really happy. Maybe some of them stay in the town, maybe some of them leave the town, but I feel like the arc, they're not going to undo the beautiful arc that this family has been on. And in The Good Place, I'm going to not in an unenthusiastic way. I mean, it's a masterpiece of a show, but I feel like at a certain point, with all of the bends and twists and things, it's a little bit painted into a corner, and I'm just kind of confused at this point. I'm like, are they going to end up dead,
alive,
just
end it with them going to the good place, the real good place?
In love? Oh, is that how it's going to end? They're going to go to the real good place?
I don't know,
is there even going to be a real good place?
But that's fine.
Yeah, so
maybe they let them live again on Earth. I mean, to me, it seems like it's pretty easy either way. Like, it's a good ending.
It's just a little bit confusing.
It's not. I think you're right. Really not about the ending.
That's a show when I'm in it, I love it. But like when I'm away from it for a while, I'm like, oh, it's a lot of work. It's so good. It's so good.
You know what? Maybe, yeah. I feel like Shai, I'll stick with what I chose, but I respect your explanations. Yeah, Glow has a special place in my heart. That's a hard category.
I made it hard on purpose. Now, here is a very strange category, because as I was researching the upcoming movies, if you go on IMDb, they list everything. Like, even movies people are making in their basement that they put on IMDb. So, there are 3 movies coming up. I'm just going to give you the titles and a vague amount of information. Well, one is I've seen the preview for already, and that is Call of the Wild, and this is Harrison Ford talking to a dog for what appears to be 2.5 hours. Then there is a movie called Gretel and Hansel. I guess it's like a crazy dark take on Hansel and Gretel.
That looks terrifying. I watched the preview. The preview just gave me nightmares.
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, I think, with Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton, is an underrated, super fun movie. It's like
I'll watch that.
It's a very campy, like Evil Dead style, like heroes fighting witches, and it's very influenced by Sam Raimi, as far as I can tell, and I enjoyed that a lot. It's like nonsense, but it's also really fun.
This Gretel and Hansel looks like it was influenced by Saw. It looks horrifying.
Yeah, so like, how's that going to be? They're going to melt people in peanut brittle houses, or I don't want to see it. Then, while I was checking, though, there was a movie listed called
peanut brittle.
Indiana. I don't know. Indiana.
That's like your wishful thinking. You're like, oh, why can't the house be made of peanut brittle?
I love peanut brittle. So then I saw this movie listed, Indiana Jones and the Sanctuary of the Black Order, and I'm looking at it saying, oh my goodness. It's in post-production.
It's an entire Indiana.
I knew that they had signed on for some kind of Indiana Jones 5, but I wasn't sure in what. No one's been talking about this? Oh my goodness. And then I look at the cast, and it's all Spanish actors, and I said, are they doing like a flashback here? Because is this sort of like a new hip version of it? And then I went to the movie's official website, which is just a Facebook page. And
that's how you know. That's how you know it's legit.
And it appears to be only released in Spain, and I don't think it's like a real movie. Lily, were you able to do any of the Spanish language research on this film?
It's like an independent, like, student film,
like a fan film,
like these a fan film. Sorry, not student film, a fan film. Exactly. These B actors made it. I mean, illegally. There's no way they have the right to touch the material, which is bizarre that they would. The Indiana Jones is pretty huge here. I would say, like, that's.
But the plot
that movie was a big deal.
The plot isn't bad. It's Indiana Jones and Sala go fight something with the Nazis. I'm like, yeah, why couldn't we had that instead of the Kingdom of the Skull movie?
You know what? I bet you'll be able to rent this movie from Lily's video store in Spain. It's being exclusively released at her video store Kabbalah on Calle Santa Rosalia. So,
video store Kabbalah. Well, are there any other categories that you guys want to talk about in the coming year for Buy, Rent, or May? I know I've sketched out some options, or do you want to just get into what we've been watching and shout-outs and stuff?
I want to. No, that's fine. I'll leave it for my shout out.
Okay.
So
hit it, Beck. What's your shout out?
Oh, okay. So it's looking forward into 2020. It actually just premiered today. We have not discussed it yet.
Super excited for this.
There is a new Netflix original animated series perfect for your preschool-aged children. Anyone could watch it of any age, but perhaps might be enjoyed most by 3-year-olds around that age. Go Cory Carson. Highly, highly recommend this show. Everyone should watch it with their kids. And I'm not just highly recommending it because Vlad is working on the show right now. He works on this show. He's the head of story for it, or I don't think for the season that just came out, for future episodes, but it doesn't matter. He's still a part of that team. It's made by wonderful Cuckoo Studios here in Berkeley. We're very, very proud of the show, but it is so beautiful. Like, it is so interesting the way the animation is done. The stories are great. The characters are adorable. It's really not just like a dummy show for little kids. It has great lessons. It's so sweet. And it really is just like beautiful to watch.
So
I love the way that the animation and the art is done.
I watched the first couple of episodes, and the best way I can describe it is this is a kids show, but it's clearly a kids show made by people with like Pixar level game, because in the second episode there's this story of this younger brother who has an imaginary balloon friend, and the older brother accidentally lets the balloon away, and he chases it all across town, and he comes back and he gives the balloon to the little brother, and the first thing the little brother does, or little sister, sorry, does,
little sister,
who's voiced by your daughter, I guess, because it sounds like it might as well have been.
She's voiced by the daughter of the person who I believe was the head of story for these episodes, yeah.
And then the little kid lets the balloon go, and the older brother's like, Cory Carson's like, oh my God, you let your best friend go. And then he gives the little one, snuggles Cory Carson, and says, you're my best friend. And it's very, very sweet. And I think there's a sweetness to it, and there is a creativity to it that you're not going to see. Especially, I mean, we have the added advantage of knowing the level of people that are working on it, but yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but truly, of the episodes that I'm familiar with, and the ones that are, like the ones that have been released, the level of storytelling, the characters, the lessons in it are definitely elevated from other animated preschool shows that are out there, or it's a very special show, and I really do recommend for everyone with little kids. So that's my big shout out and recommendation. And what have I been watching? Oh, I'm watching a bunch of Clone Wars, thanks to Shai. Lily, I'm gearing up for The Politician. Don't get stressed. It's on deck. I'm warming up to it. Relax.
It's about time.
Yeah. I think I'm watching a lot of movies. But we discussed that on last week's app. A lot of the movies I've been watching. So I'm caught up on Riverdale. Oh, it's so good this season.
Oh, I have to pick up that thread again.
Shai, you gotta fit. I mean, it's really good. I'm so curious how many concussions Archie has, and if his traumatic brain injury he clearly has been suffering from is what affects his judgment, because that kid is a dum-dum.
The actor's Australian?
Yeah, or New Zealand, Australian, something like that, yeah.
I don't know, but I was like, Shai, he's British, and Shai's like, no, he's Australian. And I'm like, clearly I can't hear accents.
Anyways, it's so good.
That's all I know about that show.
So I'm watching, I want to ask you, Beck, so we're watching You're the Worst. We're in season 5, and season 5 takes a very sad turn in like the 4th, 5th episode. Like there's like a flip, there's like a time jump, and then it's like there's sort of like a happy ending, and then they flip forward, and then it's like not happy. But yeah. I've like really enjoyed what they've done with the characters so much that I can handle. Now maybe it's gonna get really depressing.
No.
Season 4 was really depressing, and I still liked it. I don't know why. I don't usually like things like this.
I think my problem is that I binged too much of it, and it went from being funny to making me anxious.
It's
because of like how depressing it gets, and I needed to take a break.
Sometimes shows are meant to be watched like with space between.
The first 3 seasons are much more of a heartwarming broken person comedy, and the 4th season is like a very, very sad show of people unraveling, but they are great actors. But I do think it's been earned and consistent with the characters. It's almost like they took the parody, like the caricatures of season 1, 2, and 3, and made them more real in season 4 and 5. Of like, what would be the consequences of this behavior if we actually spun this forward?
And they're just You're right in that it's consistent with the characters and what they do feels earned. But I guess I've also reached the point in the show where how radically different they are from me and the choices I would make has stopped being funny and started making me sad.
That's fair. I'll say the episode we just got up to, without talking spoilers, or the previous episode was an episode where Jimmy has a lot of money.
Yeah,
and one by one, all the different characters in the show find out he has money, and
that is great.
And the Janet Varney's character Becca,
like he's had money this whole time.
No. He gets it
for a big paycheck for his book, and not everyone else has lost money, but Becca and Vernon play scams on him. Like 2 scams in a row to try to get him to give him their money, and what's awesome about it is that he just sees through it right away and turns it on their heads, and I think the 2 of them they owned that episode. They were so funny in that episode,
right?
Because they're weirdly a team now again after they lost all their money. So it's, anyways, that was really good. So I'm looking forward to the end. I'm anxious though to get to the end, because if it's too sad of an ending, I'll be bummed. I'm also, I picked up 30 for 30, the ESPN documentaries, which I've always loved. They're amazing. I'm watching right now the one on the XFL, which is about essentially Vince McMahon from the wrestling world, and Dick Ebersol, who's like the defining person, creator of NBC Sports and SNL with Lorne Michaels. And it's about them and their partnership and everything. I'm not all the way through it, but it's fantastic. And the other thing that I want to give people a heads up that will have either come out by the time this comes out or will be coming out soon is I think there are certain things that I will always jump on and be a part of. And the Allbros podcast, that Caleb and Rose, they put out a Twitter question of who wants to come on our show and talk about cats, and I immediately tweeted back with Becky, and I got to go on their show with Beck. Becky, it was a long episode, and Beck has to raise a new baby, so Beck did not stay for the full episode, but she did contribute quite a bit. And I got to talk to them about cats for 2 hours and go through like a methodical rating of the movie. Oh my goodness,
how lucky are they? So, no, I actually do feel that way. I'm sorry, that came off sounding sarcastic, but I really do feel that. I could talk about that show for hours. That movie for hours.
I will say, we're probably not going to do any further deep dive on our show, but when this episode comes out, if you want the full Shai and Becky analysis, check out the Allbros podcast. They're really nice
Becky,
guys.
Don't you think the studio that brought us cats owe Shai money?
What? Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry. Spoiler alert, Shai is actually on the take.
No, I am not
on the take. He is part of the marketing budget for cats. He has been paid to one by one individually go around America
it's
and
a grassroots campaign
to watch and love this
the
movie.
Money is just a plus.
He actually stands outside of movie theaters with flyers on a little
He just donates the money back to the production.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much he for the money.
No. It's a donation of his time for his true belief in cats. But it was amazing, and we do truly love it.
And I think you're seeing more and more people out there.
He goes hard.
Yeah, but I also think now that we're past the initial bullying, you're seeing more and more people going to see it, and they're like,
"This is true."
Like, the CGI is bad, but the songs are great, and I really think that I hope they put Beautiful Ghosts in for an Oscar. It's already in for a Golden Globe. I think it should win. Taylor Swift did an amazing job with that song, and the
best is that Jose was like, my husband's like, why aren't you on the podcast with them? But the guest on the podcast with Shai and Becky, don't you feel left out? And I was like, well, I haven't seen the movie. I mean, I know what Cats is, but I haven't seen the actual movie, so. He goes, well, why not? You should be on that podcast. I'm like, well, A, I don't think it's come out here yet. B, I don't think this movie's right for Spain, unless somebody murders the cats and turns into a
Well, there is a...
I was like, you guys...
There is a scene of a cat.
Well, I was like, I don't think, unless like some, fans like remake it as a horror film and put it on Facebook, I don't think people in Spain are watching it. Like Indiana Jones. And he's like, well, what do you mean? Like, I feel like I would have gone to see it with you. And I was like, oh, sweetie, I love you,
my
but I
goodness.
think you would have.
Are you
I'm like,
kidding?
you would have divorced me. I took you to see this movie. I should take him and just tell him it's a horror movie.
He will
and then
love
make him watch it.
He won't love it.
He loves a dancing situation.
For some people, it is a horror movie.
Yeah, tell him it's just cats have to dance into the heart of a little town.
But I will, when I'm available to watch it at home on TV, I will put it on and live record his reaction to it.
Amazing.
And
All
I
right.
will just quickly say, are you done with what you're watching?
Yeah.
I will quickly just say that I'm knees deep in The Witcher.
Oh, I want to start it.
So should I watch it?
I heard it makes no sense. I heard it's really hard to follow.
This is the thing.
There's a lot of
companion
literature going out there. What?
I heard it bounces back between time periods, but without telling the audience.
Here's the issue. I think it's great. Like, I'm enjoying watching it. There's a lot of action. There's like fight scenes. They obviously don't have as big a budget to do some, because it's like there's a lot of like supernatural monsters and stuff in it. Clearly there's some stuff that looks really kind of cool and scary, and there's other stuff that's they don't have like HBO's budget. But so you're just like, whatever, I don't care. I don't need to see like the fanciest like dragon or whatever. But it's a lot of fun, and it's cool. The only problem really is exactly what you just said, Shai. So it is a series of, once you realize the show's not chronological, you're like, oh, okay, whoa, this makes a lot more sense. And then you work really hard to like figure out when you're jumping back and forth. But then you lose it. You lose the thread so quickly. Right now we watched an incredibly cool episode, and I literally was like, I have no idea if this was before or after. So
what I was going to say is I've seen a lot of articles that say, I've seen a lot of articles that say things like, read this article to understand The Witcher. And I'm just sort of like, I really want to see it. Right, at the point at which,
absolutely not.
I need supplemental reading.
It's a video game, and it comes from books that became a series, and then it became a video game. People that are like to do that kind of thing, like play a game and read something, there's people that enjoy that. I'm definitely not doing homework to watch a TV show. If you can just watch it, like last night I was like, I don't know when this is happening, and that's really bothering me, because I like to put things in context. Like, if the main character's in peril, do I know he's going to be okay because he's actually alive in the present, or is this the present? I have no idea. But in my head I was like, I'm sure they're not going to die. They're the main characters.
Right.
And I just was like, just go with it.
Maybe my baby brain
really
will understand.
I think you just watch it as if you're watching it chronologically, and that's it. Because it's definitely not in chronological order. Once you know that, then just go with it. But I'd love to talk about it with somebody.
All right. So, I'll put it on deck. Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's it. That's
where can people follow you, Lily?
Chi K. Gomez on the Twitter.
And what should people do if they like our show?
They should definitely give it 5 stars on iTunes, because that's like giving us free money.
Without giving us money.
Right. That's like you're giving us free publicity and like helping our rating and helping people find us when they search like podcasts about cool movies. Siblings, talking movies and pop culture, we will have a higher chance of popping up. So you're helping us get the word out there. So give us 5 stars. We don't really take anything less than 5 stars though. So just take that into consideration before putting your review in.
And Becky, where can people follow you?
They can follow me on Twitter at PaperBKPrincess. I don't know how much they'll get out of it.
And you're lighting up Twitter these days, so you're all over it.
I am.
All right, and you can follow me. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And you can follow me at pancake and the number 4 table, pancake4table on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow all of the Friday Night Movie social media stuff on Fry Night Movie on Instagram and Twitter. Or you can go to FridayNightMoviePod.com and see all the stuff, the glossary, the episodes, the whole deal. And our theme music is by What Does It Eat? And it'll kick in now, and we will dance our way into the night. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Happy 2020.